Okay, we're going to take a look at how to do a little light editing and saving a file created inside Pages on a Mac to PDF with other file format options. So here we have a recent pattern I did, the pumpkin and spider. This one has already been created in PDF and available on my websites, but for now I'm going to show you some basics, starting with the file formatting. We have in the file page setup, you want to pick up basically portrait and a letter size 8.5 by 11. That can also be changed to say 11 by 17. You can change the page to 24 by 24 and however you want. You can also manage custom sizes, create any layout that you want for large blueprinting and this and that. I'm going to talk more about that later on, but for now we're going to stay with the standard US letter, 8.5 by 11. It'll show you how it's laid out. You don't want landscape. You could. There's a lot less tools available in the landscape setting, so you want to go to portrait. Okay, you could scale it. Just shows different scaling options. Moving on, we have a pattern here that I created from a drawing that I scanned into Pages app using my phone. That's going to be another topic for discussion, but for now I'm just doing a simple how to save a file as PDF. So this file right now has 4 pages. You see 1, 2, 3, and 4. First page is your working page, your actual pattern page that will print out 8.5 by 11. It has the numbering, which can be manipulated, changed. You can make text bigger, smaller, bolder, all the features, center it. That will be probably another topic, but for now it's going to be the file creation. So here we have page 1, page 2. This is a mirror of this without the numbers, for folks that want to put their own numbers or use plotters. There is another option. You can select this image and go to the image setting, remove background, and what you can do is make this all transparent for PNG, which is the base file format for plotters. If folks don't know how to do the conversion, you can do it for them and save it as a PNG as well. To remove background, you hit the remove background button, click on the area you want removed, basically transparent. It'll blue it out, and so this area here now is transparent. What I like to do is with these patterns is really change the exposure so you can see what you did and what you didn't do. So we'll go ahead and do another one. Let me just go to this one more obvious. This one. Basically, you're taking all these pieces and you're making them transparent PNG, and then up here at the end you can save this document as a Pages document, or file export to images, and what this will save it all in a JPEG, or you can click down below as PNG. That will give you the transparencies that you need. For this demonstration, we're going to stay with JPEGs for now. As you can see, any changes you made will show that this document has been edited, and what you can do is you can go back to what you did. Let's see, revert. Where's revert? I typically don't do this. Okay, revert to last saved, and you can revert it, and that editing goes away. So this is the original one you worked with. So again, we want to take this 4-page document, file export to PDF. You hit that. The quality, you can go better, good. I like best. It's going to give you the clearest line definitions and text. And we're going to go ahead and hit that save. You don't want to go into Word or EPUB unless you want to do a publication of some sort, because you can put other elements inside Pages. So for basically, this is an older version of Pages back from '09. You could just about forget that. Everything's up to date. So you hit PDF. You can have advanced options. You could do accessibility is off. You can basically put password protection. You don't need to do all that, but for just patterns, you're going to hit save, and it'll save the file name with the extension PDF, which is recognized by basically every imaging viewing application. Acrobat, Preview, web pages, web browsers. Preview's a good one. I can show you that in a minute. So here I have a folder called Etsy Patterns. You could see the folder in here. It contains all my images already, and then I already saved it previously, but I'm going to go ahead and export it anyway and hit replace. You can replace it or cancel it. Well, I'm going to hit cancel in case I have an issue, but let's just go that. Oh wait, let's go. Let me export it. I'll replace it. This now, like I said, is PDF. You can go to Preview, and you go ahead and see this here window. I have it set to show the most recent documents I saved, and as you can see, there's a little preview of the Pumpkin Spider PDF. Click on that in Preview. It gives you the document. You can print it. I like about Preview, you can view the markup tool, which shows you how you can add text. Excuse me. You can send it, you can share it, you can do a lot with it. You could also go and let's see, we're going to go ahead and view. Oh, I'm sorry, view the, let's see, continuous scroll. Oh, contact sheet, I'm sorry. Contact sheet is very important because what that does is it lays everything out. So if you want to promote your pattern, you can see them all lined up. This is really helpful if you have a book. You can see all the pages of the book. You can change the sizes of it. You can also just kind of scoot the window over it'll rearrange them. Let's see if we can move this window over. Here we go. You can make them bigger. For 4 pages, there's probably a way to get these lined up at 2 by 2, but for this purpose we're just going to show how to take a screen clipping of these 4 documents that will be actually part of your layout in Etsy or a web page. To get a screenshot, it's a simple combination of keystrokes, Shift, Command, and the number 4. I can't show you that, but trust me, it's on the keyboard. If you hold down the Shift key, the Command key, and the number 4 key, it'll bring up a little, what is that, like a target that allows you to select how much you want to grab of what's visible, and by dragging with your mouse with the button down, you can get your sizing. You release the mouse, that now is in the clipboard. So what I like to do is, being though this is just a preview, continuous, or the contact sheet, it's not going to save this as a image. What I did is I put it in the clipboard, which now you go File, New from Clipboard, in Preview. It'll show you this is actually now an image, which is handy for uploading to internet, Facebook, wherever you want to go, or you can just use it as your Etsy header. You go export. You can do a simple save in Preview. It saves it by default a JPEG. You could rename it. You can call it, let's see, pumpkin layout. And I'm saving it in my Etsy patterns folder. And this format is JPEG. You can, if it is transparent, you can make a PNG. But for demonstration purposes, we're going to go with JPEG again, because PNG does not work well with a lot of places that host images, because it'll show a checkerboard area that is the transparent. JPEG is the most compressed file format. It's not going to take up a lot of data or use a lot of data like a TIFF or again another PDF. So you want to save it as JPEG. Okay, and you hit, it's already checked, hit save. So now this here is in my Etsy patterns, and again it should show it as a recent document with the timing. You go here, click that, and there you go. There's your image. You can share it. You can send it to somebody. You can just basically use the clipboard again and paste it into a Facebook page or what have you. But for Etsy, you need to actually upload a JPEG, and that's what this is here. Is pumpkin layout. All right. I just wanted to show you that before we moved on. Yeah, you can, if you have a Mac, you'll know that you can't slow these things down, especially with the newer processors and the solid state drives. The drive is for storage. If you have a 2 terabyte backup, which I have, that's hooked to my cloud, you never have to worry about ever cleaning up storage or trying to recover data. It's in the backup. It's in the cloud. A lot of times you can take images from the cloud, work with them, or reopen documents, because by default Pages on a Mac will mirror that content directly into your iCloud account. It's that cloud that's above your head. Anyway, if you want to know how I do coloring, that's going to be in a full video in the future using Pixelmator, which is an application. Pixelmator Pro works terrific on a Mac. It doesn't slow down. It very clean. You can do SVG outputs, high res. This is not really a high res image here, but it's not. I mean, it's pretty clean. To do that, there's a lot of options with a Mac that are really quick to go. If you do with your mouse, you do a right mouse click, or in my backwards world, I have my mouse set up as the primary, as the right button. So if I refer to a left mouse click, that means option click. It's the same thing as holding down the option and clicking anywhere you want to click. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, or better yet, we're going to go ahead and shrink it down a little bit, because in Pixelmator application you want to have a little buffering here on the end so you can do some cleaning up if you have to. If you copy this in this box, it's going to show up in Pixelmator right to the edge. You can add to the field of what you have, but it's more trouble. It's easier just to click off that, do the Shift Command 4. That's the clipboard. You know, come up here. You can come up high, and you want to drag this image basically across it to copy the clipboard. It's copied. You hit a little bloop bloop. That means it's copied. And then you run to Pixelmator. Like I said, the Mac, I know PC does it as well, but the Mac formatting is so clean, the interface is idiot proof, and it's really powerful. I have this is 8 gigs of RAM. It's nothing crazy, no 16, 32. It's 8 gigs with a 500 megabyte hard drive on my Mac Mini. It does have a solid state drive, which there's no spinning motor or fan that needs to cool it down, because everything is instant. A lot of heating that goes on in your computers is either from a video card or the actual files themselves bouncing around in your hard drive with a fan, with a spinning hard drive. Solid state takes away all those problems. So back to Pixelmator. So you want to create a new document. See, I have a clipboard. It's in my clipboard. Create a new document. Here they show clipboard. You can do blanks. They have templates. There's a lot of things you can do. But I'm going to go ahead and double click on the clipboard. Now we're in Pixelmator Pro. One of the best features I found with Pixelmator, it really does a nice job cleaning up any kind of line work, or for, as you see here, these are glass fills. And I'm going to show you glass fills first, because a lot of people want to do that, and it's very easy to do in Pixelmator. It's almost stupid easy. Okay, it's like wow. So we have our image. I imported through the clipboard. I try to avoid layers in Pixelmator. You can use them, but honestly, if you're going to do layers or try to overlay or get sections, just drag it right back, or copy and paste right back to your Pages app. Pages has a lot more options as far as clipping, overlaying, cleaning up. So you want to just use Pixelmator. I mean, there's a lot more you can do with tools. There's painting, there's effects. One's an effect that I use quite often is a sharpen. You can hit the sharpen, and you hit the luminance button. What that does is it actually makes whatever you have pop out. See how that looks more like glass? You don't want to overdo it because then it just looks fake. Looks like some AI did it. But you can do that. You can add the effect. Well, actually, it's already done. It's saved. And then what you can do also, which is really important on a black and white image, is select areas of this image. Here I'm going to select this. See, it just highlights, and that the brush size will determine how deep inside a pixel it goes. And you know, here I'll just show you here, just because it's what will work. When you drag it over to select the area, and if this was black and white image, that would happen with just a single click. But being that we're selecting over an image that's already got a glass fill, it's going to take a little more patience to get it. You would typically never have to do this unless you want to change colors of the whole thing, which can also be done with, in your tools here, hue adjustment. I can make this pumpkin purple if I want, and that green, but for now I'm showing you the select. It's a quick selection, they call it. It's very powerful. I've used Illustrator, I've used Photoshop, I use all the best tools that cost hundreds of dollars, and to be honest with you, this $50 software, it blows them away. It really does. I selected this image, this area of this image. So what you want to do is now go into your add effect, which is a star. You go down here to fill. Use an image fill. It's taking a default image from Pixelmator. You don't want that. Who wants that? So you want to hit choose. And previously I created a whole folder. I called it glass swatches. Basically it's a folder of pasted images or saved images in Pixelmator as JPEG. You could save them in another format, but JPEG works great. It's got all the colors and all that. So you go to glass swatches, and you can see I have a lot of collected images of glass that I had, along the way. The windows are limited, so if you want to show more, you just hit the show more. I believe the glass fill I used was a yellow orange here, but just for demonstrations I'm going to go with green figure C. So you double click on that and it shows up right where you wanted it. You could scale it down. You can't scale it past the size of the image. You could change the opacity, or keep doing it as you wish. Every time you go ahead and select a new area of this image, you'd have to go back to the selection tool, unless you did before I did this, select. And again, this is going to be slower than if this was black and white, because it is a color. It's picking out all the pixels all throughout. So basically I have these 4 patterns picked out, and you could even go right into there with the little pieces. Select that. Go back to the star, which is add effect. This basically just means add effect. It's effects. Go back to add effects, image fill. See, it's going to make everything default, and these are 100% opaque, meaning that you still have the green underneath it. This is basically a layer of whatever image you want. So we're going to go ahead and choose. Let's say, nice royal blue. We'll make that blue. All right. And this is still highlighted, so this is an active selection. What you want to do is just click anywhere and click the button. That's the button to select things. Click outside it let's see. Go select all. That's selecting the whole box. And you could take this. You could play with it. You could resize it, put it back into Pages, or you can go ahead and do crazy things right here in Pixelmator. Add effect. So you got color adjustments, like I mentioned earlier. Hue adjust, which is a really good one. You go into the angle. I mean, you can do color adjust to really fine tune, but a better results is with hue. You see, I can make it red on green. You make an Italian pumpkin. I can make it some kind of funky this and that, but that's basically the add effect of a hue. Once you do it, it's automatically saved. You can go back here and say, you know, this is your new coloration. If you're not happy with it, simple undo feature on a Mac is the Command Z. It's a keystroke that allows you to go back to the last step you left off at. So you hit the Command key and the Z key. See, it goes back. So if you made a mistake somewhere, you can get back to that place in time and make the changes, or just be done with it. One of the best features besides coloring in Pixelmator is the warp tool. This tool is the game changer of all game changers for making stained glass patterns, and I'll explain that. I'll do a quick explanation. I want to do a full video just on this warp tool, because this really has power that it's insane. So we're going to hit the warp tool. There's different tools in here. You have warp by hitting here and choosing a selection. You know, twirl, self-explanatory. It's going to make it look like a hurricane. Pinch is a really good one if you want to get away, remove thick areas of a design. You know, say it's a little gloppy for you, which I'll do that right now. You'll hit the pinch, and all these tools have a brush size adjustment. So basically you want to do your brush size to what you're working with, and in this case my eye went right to this area that's a little heavy for the spider head guy. So we're going to head just a little bit smaller, and now we're in the pinch mode. What you want to do is just kind of blow it up a little bit, and this sliding scale is amazing. I'm at 172% within a second or less, whereas a lot of programs you have to change it by a drop down, you know, 100, 150, you know, all that. But in Pixelmator it does it instantly and fast. So here, like I said, I want to get into this area. It's a little heavy. I'm just using an example. So that what the pinch tool does, it's actually pinching every pixel you're selecting with that circle. Now that may not seem important to a lot, but it really is if you're trying to get something that's clean looking for a pattern. Like up here, if you notice, this is a computer generated image of a pattern I did, and actually looks like solder. That's another video. That's all done with Pixelmator. By accident I did it, and importing into Pages and using alpha filters, remove background and shadowing. It looks like solder. It's crazy. It just, one day it happened. I said, look at that. Alright, so that was the pinch. You could undo it. So you undo it, you hit the Command Z, or go back to the tools here. The warp tool. This is the one that to me is the best thing that ever happened for a Macintosh computer, Apple, that can manipulate images. So you go to warp. I'm going to set my brush up a little higher. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and take this spider head and pull it out. See, you could even see the bottom of the line below. You could stay with it. I'm just doing a quick mock-up, just showing the power of this Pixelmator app and how seamlessly it does without skipping a beat on your superpower Apple computer. You can do that. I made them look more like a turtle by changing the brush size, say something huge. You can take whole sections of area like this eye and move the whole thing. You can take the whole head and move the whole thing. And sometimes it will make a little heaviness on a line because it's dragging these pixels and reshaping them down here. So if that's the case and it made a little thickness here, you can go into the pinch tool, or easier yet, just go into the warp, change the warp a little smaller, go in where it's heavy, and we're going to drag that actual purple, that purple glass, further into the line. There's a really nifty thing here you can do if you want to really get into fine tuning. You can bring it in with a smaller brush and really clean up this area. You can drag that and it'll keep dragging it until it no longer needs to be dragged. Pixelmator has a learning feature to it. It's based on AI technology. Though it is not AI, it's going to help you be your own AI robot to some sense. You'll notice that if you use tools like the paintbrush tool, this is a hard basic. Basically, it's whatever you put down is going to be put down. That's really good for filling in voids. You can also clean up a line that's a little off or thin, just if you want to. The other tool, the brush tools also have different sizes, and it previews it right here in this little window, which is great. You can see what you're dealing with. See that's in perspective to your pattern. It's gonna do that. So I'm gonna undo that. Another really good tool is the pen tool. It's actually a 6mm gel pen. If you took a 6mm gel pen, this is going to be exactly what that 6mm gel pen does. Okay, they have rollables, so many different things. The gel pen, what I like about that, this is where the AI technology or the learning technology comes from Pixelmator, that starts figuring out what you want to do. It figures out what you want to do. So you hit the gel pen, you click anywhere. You don't have to do that. I undid it. Like say you wanted to add another leg here. You go up here, you go down, you go like that, and this is all done on a mouse. There's no pen involved. But my point is that the clarity and the neatness of the gel tool is just amazing. I suggest or recommend, if you're going to do hand drafting, you can make a whole pattern in Pixelmator, but it's really actually easier just to take a piece of blank white paper, draw what you want, import it into Pages, give it some edging, some lines, background lines, not background, edging lines, like borders, and then create your pattern. It's actually your drawing, but digitized. But it can be done in Pixelmator. Again, I like the idea that it learns what you want. It's actually, I am going close to this line, but it's telling me not telling me, but it's correcting where it thinks I need to go. Like you see a little bump out here, say, oh, I made a mistake, or I need to fix that. Well, go into your warp tool. Yeah, you make that brush size a little bigger. Go right in here. You can see with those pixels, it's actually cleaning up that whole area for you. You can drag it along the line. It's like a sweeping effect. Like I said, this app is a crazy game changer for me. And again, a lot of these other tools, you have, like lighten. You can actually brighten up areas if you want to add something. Or you say, well, this area is a little dark. You want to brighten it. There's sharpen tools. They'll sharpen the whole thing. I like using the actual effect tool to sharpen because it grabs the whole thing. There's another great tool. This one is amazing. This is called the repair tool. You see a lot of this being used in photo editing software. Pixelmator is not a slouch when it comes to it. And I'll show you real quick. Just for line drawings, what this can do. There's an eraser too, but what that does, that erases and will actually create a transparent background. So you're creating, a PNG basically. So with the repair tool, it looks like a little band-aid. You hit that. Say brush size. All of these tools have brush sizes. So what the repair tool is actually doing, again, it's learning what your intentions are. See, my intentions are, I really don't want this. So I'm going to cover that, and boom, gone. You can go a little closer in. This is a really good tool, to undo things you did. So you get in right in there. You undo that. You say, well, that line really, I didn't like that. You can let go of it and do that and come back to it. But what Pixelmator is doing, it's learning what you want. So you hit that little nudge. So all of this that I added with the gel pen is now gone. I want to say, I don't like that eye. Look at that. The eye's gone. Eye's gone. This repair tool is amazing. Again, you have a paint tool. It has different strokes. Airbrush, I don't find it handy unless you want to play with the computer. The color selection is also a good one if you want to do instant color changes or grab sections of the area that are of equal color. So it's just to show you that. Go ahead and grab all the black. So what you could do is you can grab that, bring it into pages and actually work with it with line elements. It's not, I could select all that, put a shadow on it, make it darker, do a lot of things with it. I rarely use it, but it is a great tool. Again, the quick select, that's the one I use the most for my glass fills. This one is a free selection. So you want to do is select all, get out of that other thing. Like just say you wanted to, change this guy. See, finish selection. You grab it, and hey, how come I didn't? Whoops! It's still selecting. Hold on. This is where it's look. I don't. Whoops! Hold on. Let me cancel that. I don't ever use the select tool, so you have to bear with me. Let's get it back. I know what I did. See, it was selecting too much, so I don't use it. I mean, my selecting is irrelevant because I am actually doing the line work, the artwork. Unless you wanted to really take a whole area of a drawing and just move it into something else. To me, there's too much going on. I'd rather just do the bare knuckles, draw it, scan it, digitize it, and manipulate it. However, doing too many steps or too many features, to me, it's just too much. Again, there's color adjustments, direct with a full select. You can go ahead and change exposure, shadows. The black point is good if you really want to darken your lines. That's like a gamma tool. See how it really makes the blacks pop. I've actually never used most of these tools, but again, it's there. I don't even know what selective clarity is. I have no idea. But again, well, this here, the ML Enhance, will actually figure out the best color combination and shades of hue and light and shadows, so it does it all for you. It takes a little time, but this is what it thinks it should be. Honestly, they were wrong. We can unzee that. The other really great feature with Pixelmator, they have a tool that's format. We're going to go ahead and I don't use this too much. Oh, image, I'm sorry. Image super resolution. Now what that is, that's translated from, let's go from a pixel drawing or pixel image to SVG. It'll clean it all up. It'll smooth out all these lines and make this into a computer format instead of JPEG. It's all numbers instead of pixels. So pixels are what you see. This is all going to be made into SVG. It gives you a comparison. You can also say, well, how would that look if I did that? This would be great for making your pattern, and when people want a really good SVG in a PNG in ABC DEF format, it'll do it for them. The reason why I don't use the super resolution often, because it really does take up a lot of file space, and if you want to put it on a website or what have you, it's going to really limit what you can do, but it is there. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to undo it because I don't need it. So there's just a few tools in Pixelmator that come in real handy with doing patterns. I'm sure I forgot a few, but basically here's a real simple quick one. I'm going to do the Command Shift 4, which is going to clipboard this, and just for very simple purposes, if you notice, say, you know, this pumpkin's just a little too squatty, you know, I want to have them pulled out. Instead of dragging the whole image and resizing it here, you could do the resize and drag it out like that, which works fine. You can do things like that in Pages, which in my opinion is super powerful. Pixelmator is very powerful. Pages even more. You can load. I do books with over 100 pages. They'll all line up down here, and seemingly, you know, easily scroll through the pages and make changes, whatever I have to do, on the fly, quick and with very little effort. I've honestly tried to crash my Mac. I can't do it. It's just something you cannot crash. You cannot crash a modern day Mac. You can't do it. I mean, you can. I'm sure you can. But, I mean, I'll open up every app and play with images and music in the background. I can't crash it. And watch a video. it won't crash it. And that's with 8 gigs of RAM. I'm sure if I went to 16 or 32, it would be like blinking. You wouldn't even notice it. But I can upgrade. I'm thinking about getting a newer processor. They've got new the M3 chip or something. The new Mac Mini. That's all I have. It's the size of well, a small box, and that runs everything. It's easy plug and play. But anyway, back to this. I have it in the clipboard without this change, so I can go ahead and unz this. Actually, the nice default feature, being though this is edited, you can say like, I'm going to save it. I'm going to close this window, and it'll say, wait a minute, do you want to save it? Say no. Don't save it unless you want to save it. Go to revert changes. It pulls it right back to the last place you left it. Open recent. You can see even with the changes, everything's back to where it was. You know, there's another feature in a Mac that if you're really worried about saying, I did something last week, what did I do? There's a silly little thing called, not AirDrop, Time Machine. You PC people don't even know, or you couldn't even understand what Time Machine is. But I'll point it out real quick. It's this little time thing here. I have it set with my 2 terabyte external. So anything I did for as long as I fill up 2 terabytes of data, okay, I don't even use this because, I mean, let me go. Open Time Machine. Oh, here we go. These are called backups. It's an automatic backup. It goes through every day. You can see the days, sometimes twice a day. But what this is it's showing you your computer how it was on these days. So if you ever made a mistake, you can easily go back, grab the file, go back to Time Machine, restore from backup, or you can literally open that document without backing up, just grabbing it from what you used 2 days ago or weeks ago, reconfigure it into, say, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Let me go back. Well, you can go back a year or more if you have the Time Machine. Time Machine also, if you ever upgraded a computer, say you went from a Mac Mini to a desktop, one of those iMac things, all you do is you plug in the external drive, the 2 terabyte, with your new Mac, and it'll say, what do you want to do? And it'll give you an option of backup from the Time Machine. So basically it's taking your whole computer, if you decided to upgrade to a newer one, and within minutes, I'll give it 30, 25. It takes your whole computer and puts it all on your new one. That's one of the really great features of the Time Machine. And I don't know if PC has their version, but if they do, it probably crashes. If you're serious about doing patterns, go get your, all you need is a Mac Mini, has a HDMI port. What I'm using is an $80 monitor from Acer. I needed it in a pinch because my Studio Pro monitor, it was from 1990 something. It just stopped working. Something went inside. I'm not saying Macs are completely flawless, but 20-something years old, something died inside. So I said, well, it could be the AC adapter that it plugs into, or it could be the monitor itself. I don't know. I put it aside. A new AC adapter is $30. I read up on it. They do go bad. They just, you know, they don't last forever. 20 years and they poop out. I mean, that to me is a pretty long time. I have all my old Macs. They still run. I just upgrade because I like Mac. I like Apple products. And I have a Mac Mini with a smaller drive. It's got the spinning hard drive. You hear it spinning, though there's no fan on the iMacs, or there might be a small one in there by the processor. The new solid state iMacs, or all Macs, don't have a fan, and I could reboot my computer in literally 5 seconds from a full shutdown. It's the difference between a Mac and a PC. The Mac runs on a Linux, their own operating system. There's no handshaking, they call it, between the operating system, which Mac OS is the operating system. It runs directly with the computer. There's no handshaking. It doesn't need Windows and DOS. You know, I'm not putting down Windows. It's a great program or operating system. It has a lot of add-ons, features, but in the real world, all of that, it's irrelevant unless you're a gamer or, you know, CAD designer. Which, if you are a CAD designer, there is CAD programs for Mac that are even faster than a PC and more flexible. But we're designing patterns, stained glass patterns, and I think we're just going to leave it at that for now. It's just wanted to show simple things you can do about file saving. If you want to take sections of something and move it around, see, now it's edited. I'm going to undo that. This is my QR code. You can create a QR code for yourself simply by going into the settings, and you can actually get one with a logo in it. Make your patterns nice. You know, make them pop out. Don't worry too much about drawing. If you drew, you know, Bob the Builder and a stick figure, and uploaded it into Pages through your scanning tool, that if you left mouse click or option click and you scan a document, it'll go right to your phone and allow you to use your phone, place it over a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and take a picture. You're actually scanning it. The Mac will correct the angles and actually take a perfect scanning of that document and bring it into Pages, even if it's a little line drawing. And then once it's in Pages, you can do a lot with as far as, you know, the taking the background out. So here I just want to, you know, go back. This one's already been manipulated, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fresh clipping of this. This basically taking a screenshot of into my clipboard. I want to take that. I'm going to go down and add a new page, and it's that quick. I'm going to paste it. So this is a pasted image. It'll tell you it should be a TIFF, but TIFFs are very high pixelated for editing. So what you want to do is this showing the image in my clipboard from this parameter here. You want to go ahead and, you know, click back on it, go into the image setting, remove background. But before we remove background, I want to go ahead and really pull that exposure down. The reason why I do that is when you're removing background, you one click. This has a shadowing on it, which in here I should have removed the shadowing, but it's not necessary. If you're going to drag a little bit, it gets into the shadowing. But by using the exposure, you could see exactly how much you're pulling off the background. And again, you can go into real small areas, and it's extremely powerful. This won't remove this black because it's going to remove the whole pattern, but I'll do it. Well, it did it. It's going to take away the whole thing because it's sensing that as a similar color. And again, if you make a mistake, you don't have to reset and do all this. Just hit the Command Z key on your keyboard. Brings it right back to your last step you were at, and you can move on. I mean, when you get really good at it, you could just easily, I mean, I've done quite a few patterns. You can go up with the mouse, down with the mouse, over, under, however you want to do it. You kind of get the feel of how far you want to go. Once you remove background, see that one a little too far, so I'm looking at this area is a little thin. You want to go ahead and hit the style, go into border. You got the line tool. You can set it to 1 pixel, 4. It makes like a big cartoon drawing. When it's in this mode, the style mode, you can still remove background. It'll automatically put the border around it. Here I want to go ahead and use 2, maybe 1. 1 and 2 is good for people making patterns. They're easy to follow. I like to do the shadowing. You'll see a lot of my patterns have this shadowing feature. This also creates a line element of the, it's almost like a depth that creates that look of real stained glass. And this is something I stumbled on, and it's done with copy and pasting shadowed images into a new page and doing what I'm doing right now, just cleaning up areas that I don't want. And again, the image exposure tool will give you that ease of use. See, I could even remove this area. See, it cut into that. If you say, wow, this is way too heavy, everything's too heavy, go back into styles, choose your line, go into the color settings, go to white. Now it's set at 2. I want to go ahead and go to 75, go to half. So now I have half. And then you could also go in further, clean up, and we can get rid of that shadow if you want. See what this does, it thins out all the lines, because these are now not image elements, these are PNG transparencies. You could hit done. So I'm going to go ahead and change my line to black. Go to 1 pixel, and then what's nice about this too is inside pages, it keeps the format of what you did cross application. Let me explain that. You take this pumpkin, right? Even if you, I don't think if you take the background with it, but you take the pumpkin, you copy it. This is for the silhouette and the, what's that other crazy one? Cricket. You go to preview. Preview is a very powerful image tool. Pages is good, but if you want to save a single picture pattern in PNG, you can, but you have to pretty much save everything. You can save all the files involved with that page document. If you want just one PNG for your Cricut fans, you go to preview, new from clipboard, and there you go. See, this is that remove background formatting that was done in Pages, pulled it right into preview. It didn't rob it of its transparency. It put it right into preview. And what you want to do is you go ahead and you export this or save. If you save it, it's going to go ahead and put it as a JPEG. You can save it as a PNG, which is what a lot of people use, or you could rename it, or you can go File, Export. You could export it as a PDF as well. You export it as JPEG. It gives you a little more features. You go to PNG, and you want the alpha clicked. Alpha means transparent background, and then change it what you want. With a neat feature with Mac, I'm sure PC does it too. It's calling it Untitled 5 PNG, being I already have a pumpkin spider PDF right here, kind of shadowed out, because you just click that, and then it recalls it pumpkin spider PNG, and then you save it. And this here, you can check the adjust the size. It should be let's go back to inches. This one is 6 by 5. If you look at the dimensions here, this is actually a full 8.5. But what I clipped here, I could have brought it up, made it bigger, made the PNG bigger. But when it's in PNG format, you could easily go into Preview, change the size of the width, the height. So say you want to make it, I want that pattern 7 inches. So what it'll do is automatically rescale and resample. Resampling means it preserves the pixels, it preserves the image quality. If you click off here on the little lock, say that's 6.9. I am living in OCD world, so that can't be 6.9. It's got to be 7. So I changed it to 7. And you say OK. You can also change the resolution, 300. That'll bring it up into a larger viewing, but the higher resolution also gives you a cleaner cut with these machines. So I've been told. The Crickets, they will adjust for line thickness. So all of this, you may want to go back and clean this up into pages. I'm just doing for demonstration. Go into your pattern that you want to set for Cricket and all that. Check on it and make it no shadow. So that's going to be a clean black and white. So when you I don't even know if the background's removed on this, but I'm going to copy it. Go back into Preview. Just close that out. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to delete it. File, New. See, I did remove the background. So now this PNG is a lot cleaner for these cutting machines. If again you want to increase the thickness of the lines, you go back into Pages. I want to make it out of lead, right? Copy it. Go back here. New from clipboard, and there you go. You've got little thicker lines. And again, this you import this into any vinyl cutting machine or whatever you want to do. This will cut perfectly to everything here. In the case of the spider legs, I don't think you want it when you're doing a platter cut, but if it matters, you can remove this part of the line that just gives you this pattern section area here. It'll make it easier on you when you're cutting your templates, your vinyl. So that's just one thing about this specific pattern. It has the spider wire overlay. You would want to now remove that for PNG, and that is, let's see, in your original document, very easy to do. You can go like that. I'm going to remove the line. Let's see, I'm going to, well, you know what, I think I saved this as an image, so I can't do it. You'd have to go back into, like, say, into Pixelmator. Pages has one downside. There are no drawing tools. I can't erase. I can't do anything like that. This Pages is made for documents. It's made to make PDFs, put numbering, multiple pages. Well, it's called Pages, It's literally, it's not a drawing app. The one feature of the alpha feature that I use a lot in Pages, I use it because it's super powerful. It also retains the image dimensions without sacrificing any part of the background. It can be easily moved, transferred, adjusted, numbers added, whatever you want. That's why I use the Pages app. And with that, I'm signing off. Please ask any questions in the comments below. And you know the deal, like and subscribe. And we'll see you later. Take care.